everyone, Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd, and welcome to another episode of Let's Argue, where we hop online, we take your hot takes, your unpopular opinions, your tough questions, and we respond to the best ones, literally in this video. But in this episode, we sought, we soaked. We were looking for answers to a specific question, one that was not music related this time, funny enough. I was wondering, with all my years having cooked pizza prior to the needle drop blowing up, it made me think, what in your opinion is the best pizza topping? What's the best one? And why? And here are my responses to you guys doing that. Do vegans even eat pizza? As someone who has made lots of pizzas, cooked lots of pizzas, worked at a pizza place for like a decade, yes, we eat pizza. It's not hard to be vegan and eat pizza. Unless you're making the dough like an idiot and putting eggs in it. Now, when I make pizza, it doesn't just consist of sauce and bread. Maybe I'll try to get you a picture of a pizza that I made. Here's a pizza for you and me. I will throw other toppings in the mix, but this is not about my pizza preferences. This is about you guys. Whoa! This guy came prepared. Mine is definitely bell pepper. The different possible stages of ripening brings about a different possible aromas emanating as the pizza is baking that always takes me by surprise. The way it can also affect its aroma and crunch combined with the slight sweetness as fire. I like roasted peppers, you know, or like the peppers to be sauteed already before I put them on the pizza. That way they're like extra kind of cooked up and flavorful and soft and stuff. I've had plenty of pizza with like raw or, raw when they go on the pizza, bell peppers, and I just prefer them to be softened up a little bit. Blueberries, it adds an extra level of acidity that only true Ohio natives will understand. Oh my God. I can't even humor that. What? There are various kinds of dessert pizzas out there, which kind of cool. I guess I wouldn't mind a blueberry on that, but God, cheese sauce and blueberries? There's pizza called Chicken Ranch in Russia. It's got chicken, obviously smoked bacon, mozzarella, tomato, bit of garlic, and ranch cream sauce. I mean, from what you're explaining here, it doesn't sound bad, but like it over here in America, like, especially on the West Coast and in the Midwest. I mean, really anywhere like but the East Coast, there's a lot of ranch pizza, dipping and that sort of thing. I don't get it. I think it's awful. I don't know how there's so much controversy over pineapples being on pizza when people are literally smothering their pizza in ranch dressing, sometimes in mayonnaise, or dipping it in that crap, and it's like, I can't. It makes you want to puke. Okay, we saw this coming. We have a pepperoni boy over here. The saltiness of pepperoni and the way it mixes with the tomatoes sauce and slight sweetness, and the cheese's neutral taste, so on and so forth. I don't know. Pepperoni is just so greasy. It's just so chewy. I don't know. I think it sort of burns and curls up in an awful way on the pizza, but you don't want it under the cheese either. I don't know. I just think pepperoni's a mess. Just rubbery, chewy, salty, meaty. Blech. Anything is good on pizza so long as it's not one of these monstrosities. Peas! That crust and cheese looks awful. It looks like a fucking Totino's microwave pizza, and you just sort of threw peas on top of it. That is just gross. Are there olives in there too? That's just too much. That's stomach churning. This is disgusting. All right, here we have some minimalists. I mean, it's gotta be cheese, right? It's the base, it's still a topping. Pizza without cheese, vegan included, just isn't pizza to me. I mean, look, I've had plenty of non-cheese pizzas that are quite good, quite great, and there are gonna be a lot of people that disagree. But like, softened up, sauteed spinach, like spiced up nicely, I've found is like a really cool, almost like cheese replacement, because it does have kind of like a very soft almost melty quality to it. Now, of course, like, you know, I prefer some vegan cheeses, and rarely do I go completely like, you know, not even cheese replacement or anything. But, you know, if there's no cheese around, you know, I'll like throw on a little extra sauce so that it doesn't dry out, some spinach, some onion, and, you know, get a little crazy with that, and some garlic. Because there's no cheese, just like a little extra dab of olive oil or something, and it comes out pretty nice. You know, I don't think cheese is a must, but I will agree with what you're saying to the extent that it is a topping. Again, cheese, no toppings, maybe some jalapeno slices. I didn't see enough like shout outs to jalapenos. I personally think that jalapeno, and rarely do I add it though. I personally feel like jalapeno is a top tier topping. It is spicy, adds a nice kick, but then, you know, the elements that you usually have on the pizza with it are a little neutralizing, so you get a nice balance. It's not too hot, it's not too spicy, but man, you know, spicy peppers is always like a good option on a pizza, in my opinion. Onions. Many people are disgusted by the fact that it gives bad breath, but nothing beats onion on top of pizza. It gives it a crunchy yet juicy texture. Its flavor is just chef's kiss. Also, it is better than cheese any day. Whoa. I agree with a lot of what you're saying wholeheartedly. I think onions are a goated pizza topping, but I've never really felt like onions are the pizza topping. I mean, rarely am I ever eating pizza where I haven't worked onions in there in some way. I'm usually putting onions on my pizza no matter what, just because they add a little extra bit of flavor, and when they soften up beautifully, like, it's such a great extra little texture. However, I do want to stress over here, it's gotta be like a yellow or a white onion or a sweet onion. Do not put a fucking purple ass onion on your pizza. That is an awful combination. That is an inferior onion to pizza combination. I mean, I suppose if like I had no other onions lying around, I guess I would use it, but like it is so much more preferable to use a yellow, a white, a sweet onion, because you are going to get that sweetness as it kind of cooks on top of the pizza. But yeah, onions totally kick ass on pizza. Amazing. I just don't know if like I've ever felt like they were so great. They're like the star of the show. I don't know if I would ever have just an onion pizza. Onions are great. Onions are amazing, but I've never probably would do just onions by themselves. You know, it would be like onions with a sausage or a chicken or a pepper, onions and peppers, or some garlic or some spinach. Onions with a thing. Caesar sauce combined with lettuce is the best. Oh, Jesus Christ. Such a gentle and light taste combined with a warm and fragrant aroma. I mean, when I worked at the pizza place, we didn't do it often, but every once in a while we would get like someone asking specifically for this concoction of like a Caesar salad type pizza or some kind of like lettuce oriented pizza, and I don't get it. I don't get it, especially since like when I don't get it. I don't think it would taste very great or be a very great texture to just sort of throw cold lettuce on top of a pizza, and then if you're sort of putting it in beforehand, it just kind of wilts on top of it in the oven. I just don't get it. I really don't get lettuce, or really any kind of lettuce on top of a pizza. There's a lot of different greens you can throw on a pizza that work, but I don't think lettuce is one of them. Pineapple is the best topping. It is the best way of life. The contrast of the tangy, juicy fruit and the savory pizza pie makes the pineapple the optimal topping. Objectively, anyone opposed to the pineapple supremacy needs to have their taste buds adjusted. Look, I have said this before, I will say it again. When it comes to pineapple on pizza, I see it, I acknowledge it. I've never been too crazy about it myself, but I get the appeal. The smell of like a pineapple or like a ham and pineapple pizza doesn't disgust me at my core or anything. It's just not something I find particularly appealing. I'm just neutral on the pineapple on pizza debate. I think it's really kind of overhated, if anything. I'm not in love with it. I don't think it's amazing, but I don't see what is the big fucking deal. Just leave pineapple the fuck alone. If it wants to be on a pizza, just let it be there. Again, it's the ranch people that need to be taken to task. Keep your salad dressing off the fucking pizza. Marshmallows. It is quintessential avant-garde pizza topping and certainly rocks your world, whether that be in a good way or a bad way. I like the philosophy, you know, this person's just like, hey, you know what? It's a good pizza topping because it's going to elicit a reaction, whether or not that reaction is positive or that reaction is violent puking. That makes for a great pizza topping. By that same token, I would like to introduce gummy worms as a pizza topping. It's a quintessential avant-garde topping, and it'll rock your world in a good way or a bad way. I often get ostracized for asserting my opinion that anchovies are a top-tier topping. They provide the perfect blend of protein and seafood flavor. The people most vocal about not wanting them usually haven't tried them. Once you get people to try them, they see how good they are. I mean, I can't really advocate for the anchovy thing. I mean, I've you know, cooked plenty of anchovy pizzas and seen countless anchovy pizzas, and you know, I accept anchovy pizzas as you know, a legitimate direction for pizza, especially given, you know, Italy being a peninsula. There's a lot of seafood in the food over there. Of course, like that's going to cross over with the pizza stuff. It makes sense. But, you know, and this isn't really like exclusive to anchovies. I mean, personally, I've always just been so disgusted to my core with seafood because no matter what it is, honestly, like the smell just repulses me. There's always just a briny, oceany sort of like, you know, note to whatever the hell it is that's coming out of the ocean, which I mean, it should. It's in the ocean. It's going to smell like it. That just does not get me wanting to taste anything or eat anything, and it just makes me so turned off. And you know, anchovies, while I accept they're fine, and I know that a lot of people love seafood, the aroma of it just has always turned me off, has just always made me not interested in it at all, and I just think anchovy pizzas fucking stink. So sorry about that. I mean, you know, no surprise coming from the vegan, but this is like an opinion I had even before I stopped eating meat or animal products. I was just never into seafood, just never. If the pizza doesn't have mushrooms on it, how much of a pizza is it really? Hell, substitute the dough with a giant mushroom and top it with smaller mushrooms and it'll still be delish. I find mushrooms in most contexts disgusting. I don't care for mushrooms. I don't even really like mushrooms all that much on pizza, but because it's surrounded with other things, I find mushroom on pizza to be more palatable, even though I don't really care for it all that much. But I will say this, I do still have some mushroom opinions. And if you're a person who making their own pizza, or even a restaurateur who will casually or I guess like by default use canned mushrooms, just canned mushrooms, you're a fucking monster. You're a menace to society. You should be just like locked away and they throw away the key and you're gone. You're just gone forever. Kielbasa on a bar pie style pizza is the best. You get that crispy thin crust, but you also get the fatty and salty goodness from that Polish sausage slapping against your taste buds. It just seems like Italian sausage makes more sense as a flavor profile, but I suppose you could. I mean, generally speaking, I think, you know, sausage and pizza, you can't go too wrong. I know there's a variety of different sausages out there, but like, you know, sausage and pizza, it's sort of like the natural order at this point. Though, again, it's not really something I'm all that much into personally. And this last one, oh my God. You're disgusting. You're a monster. You're the worst thing on the planet. Krusty Krab pizza is a pizza for you and me. And that's going to do it for this pizza-centric episode of Let's Argue. Over here next to my head is another video that you could check out. Hit that up or the link to subscribe to the channel. Anthony Fantano, stop putting dairy-based freaking salad dressings on your pizza forever.